Saturday morning here at Gen Con 2016, and I have the pleasure of finally meeting Chris Birch from Modiphius Entertainment.
That's right. How you doing?
Very good. Good to finally sit down and chat with you.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time.
I have, the Gaming Gang's covered your company since you first launched, since you broke into the industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
4
wasn't,
years ago.
I was going to say, it's not that long ago.
I know, I can't believe it, really.
And you have all this exciting stuff going on. Some recent, some just announced.
Yeah.
Hint, behind us.
Yeah.
So let's tackle a few of the items that have got a lot of people excited.
Yeah.
So first off, you've got your Octon Cthulhu line. You've got Mutant Chronicles. You've got my friend Paulo's Dust Adventures.
Yeah.
Let's see what else off the top of my head. There you go, Infinity Mindjammer.
Yeah. Mutant Year Zero. And Mutant Gen Lab Alpha. You get to play mutant badgers and rabbits. It's awesome.
So those are the lines you currently have going on. You've got a lot of excitement in the pipeline, too. You've got Conan.
Yeah.
And that role-playing game, when is that going to release?
Should be before Christmas. The backers will be getting it in about 3 months. That's like 28 hardbacks over the next couple of years.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, every cover of the books are top-name Conan artists from the last 30 years. You've done the comic books, they've done the novel covers. They're like really famous names like Carrie Nord and Brom and all sorts of people. I mean, really amazing. We were very lucky to get a great lineup and really authentic as well. You know.
I was going to mention that, something that I had noticed, and of course, anything with Conan's name on it has to be approved by the estate of Robert E. Howard.
Yeah. Well, we've got Jeff Shanks, who's one of the world's leading scholars on Robert E. Howard. He's like one of our line editors, and he does our approvals before the Conan team even see it. So it's pretty much like, that's it. And we wanted to be really authentic, like to go back to the original text. We're not using any of the newer materials.
Right, that's what I was going to mention.
I mean, obviously by writing a campaign, you're adding new material to it. But the whole idea is it's written as if Robert E. Howard had written it.
Right.
So anything that's new, we go back to the original text and go, would he have written something like this? Okay, yes or no. So
interestingly enough, his personal life, he probably would have been a role player.
Yeah, I figured so, yeah.
I mean,
it would have been amazing if he could have seen this. I think he would have been really proud of it. So, and then, of course, we're doing my other love, which is John Carter of Mars.
Yes.
Which, my granddad had a bookstall in Coventry Indoor Market in the UK. And I used to go there and help out on a Saturday. I'd come back with a shopping bag of Sergeant Rock, Weird War, which inspired Acton Cthulhu, Famous Four and Spider-Man, and then I'd pick up like old Isaac Asimov novels like Lynn Carter, some of those really old classic sci-fi Swords and Sorcery.
All Sprague de Camp.
Yeah, that's right. And like Thongor, Against the Gods, and the Witch World novels. I mean, all that sort of stuff. And I, Robot. I mean, Foundation books. All those I love. And John Carter. And I just discovered this love for like that swashbuckling sci-fi, which is so beautiful. And we've got lucky because Rita, my wife, met the owners of the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate at a convention that she was working at, and they've always turned stuff down. And she said, "Oh, look, we're doing these beautiful games," and they were like, "Yeah, sounds great." So we're doing a role-playing game that is basically a landscape art book that people are going to be annoyed about that it doesn't fit neatly on their shelves with all their other portrait books. I don't care, because it's going to look beautiful and it's going to be a great game, and it's really true to the text.
You're going to force people to display it prominently, isn't that what's happening?
Yeah, we don't want it sitting side on. We want you like face out, and it's all amazing top artists like Alex Hawley, who's the big Blizzard artist, who's a huge fan, and we've got a lot of other big names coming on board to paint it, and there's a lot of big art in the books. And we're just really bringing it to life, and there's a really gorgeous miniatures range you're going to see soon, and a board game as well that's really fast and furious. And then Star Trek, which was like, I was a kid watching Captain Kirk, William Shatner every week, dreaming about being I don't want to be a fireman, I want to be a spaceship captain. And so it's a dream come true to be able to contribute to that universe and to be able to be given the chance to bring out this incredible game. Obviously, huge heritage. It's the fourth game in the series. So there's a lot of high expectations.
Right. A lot of people are curious, how is it going to be
Yeah.
different than the
It's
previous
obviously
incarnation?
we've got our 2D20 system that's being rebuilt for it. We don't just reskin it, it's a complete rebuild. So it feels like Star Trek, and I want it to feel like Star Trek, otherwise I'm not putting it out.
Right.
So I've got
Star
really
Trek
high
is not Star
expectations.
Wars.
Exactly, yeah, and it's more about people. So the people stories are really important to us. So your characters will have like beliefs and traits that something like my character might think the Prime Directive is never wrong. Sometimes. As we know,
Right.
Captain Kirk and Picard often have to confront moral dilemmas where maybe you need to twist it, and it's how you deal with that, and it's things like, well, maybe you're like, nah, every Klingon's evil.
Right.
They all need to be killed.
They are.
But maybe in this week's episode, you have to confront that because the guy that's going to save you is a Klingon.
Sure.
And if you can roleplay through that, that's how your character's going to grow. And so it's very much we're bringing out the personal stories. The books are going to not just be this dry, this is what Starfleet is. It's going to have, insight like communiques from a Romulan ambassador talking about Starfleet. It's going to have a Vulcan intelligence report. It's going to have messages between ships that are giving opinions about Starfleet. Are giving opinions about the Romulans.
So it's not just dry rule book.
Yeah, it's
a lot of flavor.
It's a lot of flavor, a lot of people stories. Because, it's why the
Some
big
people call it fluff. I don't necessarily call it.
Yeah, it's like we want to bring it to life so it's not, you feel like you're part of it. Because that's why our message is Starfleet needs a new crew. Now it's our turn. Of course, we're giving you the stats to play Kirk and Picard and all the crews. But this is our chance to have our own journey on our ship and get out there and have our own 5-year mission and really explore the Starfleet, Star Trek universe in ways that has never been done before. Because it's all graphic novel art. There's no pictures in the shows. We've got the guys who do a lot of the big calendars for Star Trek with all the CGI art with the ships. They're doing all our ship scenes. And we've got some of the really amazing artists doing all the Star Trek art. And we've got some of the best designers, in the gaming industry who have been turning up going, I'm so busy, but can I write a short adventure? And, so we've got a lot of guest names that are just, you can just tell the love is there for the universe. So
one important thing to mention, too, as well about the Star Trek role-playing game, which I know you're aiming for a Gen Con 2017 release.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I think it's important to note you are not kickstarting this project.
No, we're not. I'll tell you why, because I think Star Trek has the ability to be a real gateway game that could bring in a lot of new people to the industry because of that love out there.
Sure.
And so it's not going to be super complex, but we also really want to involve retailers. So we're signing up retailers later in the year to be part of a pre-order, and we want retailers to build this game. So we're letting them sign up. They're going to be Starbases. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be going, if you want to play Star Trek and you're in Milwaukee, go to Starbase Orion. It's Birch's games of Milwaukee, and they play on Thursday nights. And here's all the other Starbases across America and Europe where you can go and play. And so we're really involving retailers in the whole program. We're doing a pre-order that we're going to show the total number of orders we've got every month. And if we hit this number, then, we're going to add in an exclusive dice to the package.
Almost like stretch goals, but
kind
not
of,
stretch
yeah.
goals.
Just it keeps it simple, but we want everyone to benefit from the success of Star Trek.
Yes.
And we want stores to benefit from that as well.
And that is one thing. And I have a love-hate relationship with Kickstarter. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes retailers feel kind of shorted by Kickstarter.
Sure, yeah.
And it's nice to see something like this. And I mean, if you were kickstarting it, that'd be fine too.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you're really going to grow the retailer base.
Yeah.
Early on. The game's a
Absolutely.
year out. You're already working on this.
Yeah. We always try and give retailers a good deal with our Kickstarters as well. Like, they can pre-order. They don't have to pay until we ship. We give them an amazing deal on it. But not all, not all retailers want to do that. So with this, we want them to be part of the pre-order and to be able to offer their customers a really good deal. They get the same deal as if they came to our website. And of course, they don't have to pay for the shipping if they do it through their local stores. We want the stores to be involved in demoing the game, playtesting the game. And the whole playtest is a living campaign. So as you're playing this whole storyline. There's 4 different ships you can be on. depending on the answers you make, or if you're here at Gen Con or Essen or Dragonmeet, you get to pick the ship, and each ship is going to have a different flavor of story in the playtest, like maybe more science missions, more conflict, more cultural missions, and that's going to really flavor. All the feedback we get is going to flavor the journey through to the end, through the final plot. Right. And we're aiming to have a big finale at Origins next year where you can come along and play the final 2 missions, and we're going to film it, and the finale will affect the second year living campaign that's going to start at Gen Con next year.
Very, very interesting. Living campaigns are always pretty cool if they're pulled off right.
Yeah, and we're keeping it simple, but everyone's going to be able to take part. You're going to be able to report on awesome stuff that happened, and we might use that for some of the fiction as well.
Shifting gears a little bit, Chris, you had mentioned that being Star Trek is a gateway game.
Yeah.
A lot of people who haven't role-played before, it's going to bring them in. Speaking of gateways, you have a board game that's coming out. You already have Airfix Battles out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a niche product. It's more for grognards, board gamers. But you have a board game coming out, and that's going to be your gateway to show people that you're not just an RPG company.
Yes, yeah.
And that is Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah, well, we've got Thunderbirds, we've got 3 expansions out this year. So if you know the TV show from the 60s, or if you don't, it's basically a rich family build these incredibly futuristic machines and rock around the world in 2065, saving people from disasters. And it's like the world's tallest building is falling over, or this giant atomic-powered superjet is going to crash, and they have these incredible advanced machines to help rescue the people on board. And the whole game, designed by Matt Leacock, is about dealing with all these rescues. Meanwhile, this villain is trying to steal the technology of the Thunderbirds. Yeah. And it's a really fun, furious game where you're just juggling everything. I mean, you know what Matt Leacock's games are like. They're evil, you know. You've got to work hard, and you'll probably lose several times in a fun way, and then you'll want to play again and again.
But they're not overly complex to wrap your head around.
No, I mean, it's designed for like 10 years and up, but actually there's been like 6 to 8 year olds playing it. It's that game that you can buy for your gaming group, but you know the kids can play it as well. And so that's why it's a great reason to buy it. So.
And unfortunately, here at Gen Con, you were hoping to have it available.
I know, sadly it didn't turn up. You know, that's the rigors of shipping overseas.
But don't the Kickstarter supporters, they got their
Oh, yeah, they've had it already.
Right.
So this is all, they had it like late last year. But we've got the 3 new expansions that are coming out this year here that you can get as a bundle deal. 2 are out so far. Well, actually, one's out next month, but you can get it early. And then we've got a 3rd expansion, which lets you play the Hood as well. That's not out till Essen. And we've got a few copies here if people want to get it. So, and also they can buy the base game and we ship it to them for free.
Yeah, right.
So that actually saves them a lot of hassle because they don't have to ship it home.
But unfortunately, you're watching this and you're not here at Gen Con, so you can't take advantage.
Yeah, but we do free shipping deals every so often as a bonus.
So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. And if you want to sign up for Star Trek, it's modiphius.com/Star Trek.
And we'll obviously have a link to your website with the video, too.
Great.
Chris, any final thoughts? Anything that's maybe in the pipeline you want to share?
Siege of the Citadel Kickstarter launching in 2 or 3 weeks. It was a massive game in America, real gateway, miniature sci-fi game, designed by Richard Borg. Eric Lang and Kevin Wilson are involved. And then we've got the Kung Fu Panda game coming out in the autumn. That's a real fun geek mum and dad game as well.
Sure, right.
That's it.
Any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience?
Thanks for listening, and I appreciate all your support.
And I just want to say, Chris, congratulations. You started out 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You could not have possibly imagined in your wildest dreams that you would have all these games out there.
We're only here because people buy our games, and I think as long as we keep making games that we love, and hopefully people love our stuff when we look after them and take care of people, that's the main thing.
And have a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it. So thanks a lot.
Chris, thanks for joining me.
Cheers.